Assalamu alaikum, Hajra. Thank you so much for joining the session.
Thank you so much, Umair, for having me. Let me just quickly introduce myself. I'm Hajra. I am the talent acquisition specialist at Petra Brands. So, yeah,
Thank you so much, Hajra. I'm pretty much sure a lot of people know you on LinkedIn, but thank you so much for the introduction again. Just quickly, like the how we gonna have why we gonna have in this session is to have the ओवरऑल अप्रोच टूवर्ड्स जहाँ पे ऑडियंस को पता चल सके कि यार ग्रोथ क्या है और ये सारी चीजें क्या है सो लेट्स स्टार्ट द टॉपिक विद Haja, what do you think about growth or growth not only as a personal or professional growth, overall growth? Like, what do you pursue? Like, अगर मैं आपको कहूँ कि growth आपके लिए क्या है? So what is growth for you?
growth is, for me, growth is the most important thing in my career, in my life, as a person, professionally, personally. Because if you're not focusing on your growth, then what are you doing, right? As a person, I would say we evolve, we change, and that is why growth is very important. Because if you're not focusing on growth, then I don't think you will ever be a better version of yourself. So yeah, for me, growth is very important.
Perfect. Um, I I also agree with the point कि यार आपको हमेशा जो है अपनी अपने पास से चीजें सीखनी चाहिए and all sort of thing. And when it
Yeah.
comes to the growth part और अगर हम प्रोफेशनली बात करें तो एक सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज़ ये होती है जो कि अगर मैं कहूँ प्रोफेशनली तो उसके लिए लिंक्डइन एक इट्स वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म जहाँ पे आप अपनी प्रोफेशनल ग्रोथ या अचीवमेंट्स को हाईलाइट करते हैं
Yes.
वी हैव कम अक्रॉस अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स जहाँ पे हम ये देख रहे होते हैं कि न्यू न्यू प्रोफेशनल्स लाइक जो कि ग्रेजुएट हैं रिसेंटली दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड द पावर ऑफ लिंक्डइन. And
Mm-hmm.
as an HR person, I want you to share some thoughts on कि यार LinkedIn का क्या क्राइटेरिया है, LinkedIn कितना कितना इम्पोर्टेंट है, ताकि जो recent ग्रेजुएट है वो इस चीज़ को समझ सके कि it's not a platform like Instagram or TikTok, but it should be a very professional platform और इसकी क्या इम्पोर्टेंस है.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, what I would want the new graduates looking, or anyone looking for a new job, is to firstly take LinkedIn as a professional place. Make sure that you have whatever comments you're adding on anyone's profile, whatever messages you're sending to others, this should be kept professional. Your profile on LinkedIn, obviously it is not Instagram, it's not Facebook, it's not Twitter. So keep it professional, because everyone, if me being in HR is looking over your profile, I will see how the person is, and your profile paints a very good picture of how you are as a person. So yeah, for me, LinkedIn is like the first thing I see when I want to judge a person, their personality, how, what kind of thoughts they have, what kind of approach they have. Do they have a professional thing? How do they stand out? Obviously, once you graduate, you have this race, right? You're in a race. You have to get the job. You have to get the internship. You have to, get the training program, get into a program. But it should, yes, you should prioritize that, but first and foremost, you should have your LinkedIn updated. Your profile picture should not be very aesthetic. The people who, like, in today's world, they're like, oh, bas shakal na nazar aaye, hum aesthetic ho rahe hain. No, that should not be the case. This is LinkedIn, it's not Instagram. You should have a professional picture. You should have a professional about section, your bio, everything, that all the, I would say, important factors, key factors of LinkedIn should be there. And yes, be very professional. Do not send just hi, hello messages to other people. If you want to know about something, just ask directly on message. One message should be sent. That's all. You should not just send like five, six texts. Hi, how are you? How's your day? Get to the point. This is not Instagram. You're not talking to a friend here. Yes, you should build connections, but they are not built on just hi and hello and how are you. So yeah, you should have professionalism.
ओके. जब भी आपने स्टैटिक की बात करी उससे बड़ा एक टॉपिक निकल जाता है. क्या हमने पाकिस्तान में यूजली पाकिस्तान में हमने लिंक्डइन को शादी.com या टिकटॉक या इंस्टाग्राम की तरह यूज करना शुरू कर दिया. As
Yeah.
an HR professional, I want to know what are the key features that an HR would look when they're searching for employees. Because what I'm seeing right now that people
Mm-hmm.
are starting blaming HR कि यार हमने सीवी डाल दी है एंड हमारा काम हो गया। नाउ इट्स
Hmm.
एचआर's प्रॉब्लम कि यार वो हमें रीच आउट क्यों नहीं कर रहा, और
Yeah.
क्यों उसको ऐसा लग रहा है कि भाई हमारी रेज्यूमे तो बहुत अच्छी है।
Hmm.
क्योंकि रेज्यूमे इज ऑल्सो लिंक्ड अप विद योर इंस्टा, सॉरी, लिंक्डइन प्रोफाइल। व्हाट डू यू थिंक के इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ लिंक्डइन, हाउ टू यूज इट, एंड व्हाट्स द राइट
Hmm.
वे कि यार इस तरीके ये चीजें आपको डालनी चाहिए, ये चीज आपको नहीं डालनी चाहिए, क्योंकि एक एचआर
Hmm.
जो है इस तरीके से देख रहा है। एंड व्हाट आर द पॉइंटर्स दैट यू शुड हाईलाइट इन योर रेज्यूमे, एज फार
Hmm.
एज मैंने बहुत सारे रेज्यूमे देखे हैं जहाँ पे लाइक उन लोगों ने
Yeah.
अजीब सी रेज्यूमेस बनाए हुए होते हैं, वो उनके कैरियर पाथ के हिसाब से नहीं होते, या समथिंग लाइक दैट। सो व्हाट आर
Hmm.
योर 2 3 suggestions regarding to LinkedIn profile and regarding to resume?
Hmm. So, firstly, I will start with the resume because that's what we receive if you have applied to, if someone has applied to a role, we just receive their resume. And on that resume, we have a LinkedIn link, right? Most of the people have this common mistake that they just add the link and it's not clickable. You cannot click the link, you cannot click their portfolio if they are a designer or social media manager or anything like that. Their portfolio links are not clickable, their LinkedIn profiles are not clickable, or if they have a resume, they have just added all of their experiences. If I'm just talking about recent graduates right now, if you have done, let's say, three internships, one in sales, one in marketing, one in HR, you should not add all three if you're applying for a sales role. You should just apply, you should just add the sales one. Or if you have done something inclusive of sales and marketing in the marketing internship, you should add that as well. But that's it. You should add relevant content and small, just to the point content on your resume. One page resume, good to go. We don't
Hmm,
need a lot of uh, information that is added which is not relevant.
hmm,
Also, LinkedIn is basically the extended version of resume, right? Yes, we have looked over your resume, we can see your experience. Now we will move. The second step is LinkedIn. I will go, me being an HR, I will go over to your LinkedIn. If the click is link, like
hmm,
clickable, the link, I will go, I will see your taglines, your about section, your degrees, your experience. What did you do in your experience? If you have any edited any pictures or any, you've posted any content, right? Because people who just make their profiles and then just never show up, never comment, never repost, never post or anything, like just interact, they're just like, if it looks like that, they're just a ghost on LinkedIn, they're not a real
hmm,
person.
hmm.
So just to be there on the app, I won't say that chronically be online, but yeah, you should be there once in a week, maybe if you're very, very busy. Just stay online over the weekends, or just update your profile. See what others in your domain are doing. Look for other people. That's what I did as well when I started my LinkedIn back in 2017 or 2018. I did not know anything about LinkedIn, and what I used to do was I used to see professionals in my domain, how they have made their LinkedIn, what kind of points have they added. And honestly, I used to just copy their ideas, I copy their um, the way they have shown themselves, not the content, but the way they have shown themselves. And obviously, gradually over the time, it's been 6 7 years I've been on LinkedIn. I have improved my profile, I have improved everything. So that's what every person should do. Keep updating it, keep adding more content, keep engaging with people, connect with people. Yeah, I guess. And a very professional picture. Again, I know this is very like very a thing that people do say, but people don't really bother adding their profile or a professional picture. I think it's the first thing that we have to say see about you, so it makes an impression. And people should add professional pictures and add about what they do in their tagline as well.
Perfect. we are like as you mentioned a lot of different things उससे बहुत सारे small small pointers मेरे दिमाग में भी आए
Yeah.
एक तो ये है कि I wanted to know what is the right approach towards about section because I think about
Mhm.
section is also a very important part जहाँ पे I'm pretty much sure लोगों ने इसको थोड़ा सा for granted लिया हुआ है आजकल क्योंकि about section या जो जो हमारे पास pointers है जहाँ पे हम content लिख सकते हैं regarding to heading regarding to about section and regarding to experience के अंदर आप जब अपने experience में अपनी JD को थोड़ा सा brief down बताते हैं
Mhm.
what do you think is the right way to have your about section? क्योंकि लोगों ने वन लाइनर लिखे हुए होते हैं या तो
Yeah.
उन्होंने कोई कोटेशंस लिखी हुई होती हैं जो कि लाइनअप ना नहीं कर रहा होता हाउ कैन
Mhm.
यू यूज दोज कंटेंट पैनल्स इन लिंक्डइन एंड what are keywords because हमने
Mhm.
as a layman a lot of people know that क्या keywords use करने हैं heading
Mhm.
use करनी है तो heading के keywords या about section में keywords या about section का structure
Mhm.
या experience section के structure के बारे में थोड़ा बताइएगा कि किस तरीके से वो होना चाहिए as an HR point of view क्या है क्योंकि obviously बात है if HR is hunting for a professional he wants to know
Mhm.
a lot of things about yourself not only कि यार आपने क्या करा वो रोल्स के अंदर आपने किस किस तरीके से अचीवमेंट्स ली हैं सो
Yes,
जस्ट
yes.
जस्ट वांटेड टू नो अबाउट दैट थिंग एज well.
Okay, so firstly, about the headline of LinkedIn, you should add your title, the most important thing. Then, after your title, you should add, if you want to add, you can add your company name. And then, after that, 4 to 5 keywords, or 4 to 5, I would say, things that you have done. For example, if you are a social media person, you are doing keyword research, you are doing SEO, you are doing optimizing whatever ads, campaigns, whatever thing you're doing, you should add those keywords or those things, those key features about key skills about yourself on the headline, because that's the most major thing, right? Then that the next step is into your about section, which should be like, I don't know anything about you, right? If I'm going over your LinkedIn, I want to know more about you. I will firstly see your headline, then I will dive into about section. That's all. Maybe I won't even go to your experience section. About section is that important. So I will want every person who is listening out there, add your about section as you're telling a story about yourself. Make it unique, make it short sentences but very unique. They should be different, should be not be like AI generated all the content. It should be about you, it should be more personalized, it should be about how did you come here, what was your journey, what have you studied, what have you done so far, if you have been a part of societies, if you have done any NGO work, if you have done, what kind of jobs you have done, what kind of teams you've been a part of, anything like how do I know about you more, I will see your about section. And how do I major thing, how do I connect with you, your email should be there, your contact number should be there. And if you are obviously a designer, 3 places you should have your portfolio: in your contact info section, then your about section, and then in your website section. There are 3 places in LinkedIn, and if you add even in one of them, it will be a huge ease for the recruiters, because we cannot see their portfolio. Like, I have seen so many designers, I have to first connect with them, then send them a message. Please send me your portfolio. Please share your portfolio. Why do I have to ask again and again? I should have your portfolio link right over there. So I can see when I'm looking over your LinkedIn, I should have it in your maybe contact info section, maybe website section, maybe in the about section, anywhere. And how do I contact you? People sometimes they do not add their contact number on their resume. How am I going to connect with you? They don't have emails. How do you think will I dream about you? No, I need to know. These are the key aspects that you should include in your about section, in your I would say contact info section.
परफेक्ट सो अ पॉइंट ऑफ जहाँ से ये जो इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स ये हो गए कि विजिबिलिटी तो होनी चाहिए आपकी और
Yeah.
यू शुड नो कि यार कहाँ पे हम आउटरीच के लिए हमारे पास अगर कोई बंदा आता है तो हम कितने इम्पोर्टेंट है ये इन
Hmm.
पॉइंटर्स को रखना ताकि एंगेजिंग रहे कहीं पे भी अगर वो अबाउट सेक्शन पे है तो उसको ऊपर स्क्रॉल ना करना पड़े इट्स इट्स मोर लाइकली कि यार आपका पोर्टफोलियो अगर डिजाइनर की बात की जा रही है, अगर क्रिएटिव प्रोफेशनल की बात की जा रही है,
Yeah.
एग्री ऑन दैट पॉइंट कि बहुत ज़रूरी है। इससे एक और चीज़ निकलती है जो कि आजकल काफ़ी लोग कर रहे हैं और काफ़ी लोग नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, दैट इज़ पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग।
Hmm.
टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई हैव सीन प्रोफाइल्स जो कि किसी कंपनी में काम कर रहे होते हैं और उनकी प्रोफाइल उनकी कंपनी जैसी हो जाती है, लाइक देयर कवर आर देयर कंपनीज, देयर प्रोफाइल पिक्चर आर देयर
Hmm.
कंपनीज, they are posting 14 August, XYZ, everything from their company. And to be very honest, I personally believe बिल्कुल होना चाहिए, लेकिन उसके अंदर एक
Hmm.
एक रेशो होना चाहिए। यू शुड हैव अ सर्टिलिटी, क्योंकि
Hmm.
पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। व्हाट what things you are doing for a company is another thing, but what
Hmm.
your personal achievement, what you are doing, how you are doing it, क्योंकि हो सकता है you might be working as an account manager and then you have to move towards the brand manager, like brand की साइड पर अगर जाना हो तो brand
Hmm.
usually think यार आपकी overall achievements हैं क्या। So I
Yes.
wanted to know as an HR point of view how
Hmm.
personal branding affect in the hiring process, as in
Hmm.
कि मैंने बहुत सारी, अभी आपने जो बात करी थी कि गोस्ट प्रोफाइल लग रही होती हैं, यूजली पीपल आर जस्ट
Hmm.
कंप्लीटिंग देयर प्रोफाइल जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ डूइंग इट, but
Hmm.
then it's come to the point there are a lot of people who are mashallah doing a lot of things like making their own covers, own profile pictures, feature images
Yeah.
लगी हुई होती हैं, services section डले होते हैं, skill set डले होते हैं। Do these things also help a HR professional to get to know about more, and
Hmm.
what are the things people should do in the personal branding as far as कि यार उससे उनका outreach बढ़ सके।
Hmm. So, if you there are two things. When you are associated with the company, you have to most of the times, I would say, 8 out of 10 times, you have to upload their banner, right? Which is totally fine, not an issue. It should be there. Shows how, if you are connected with the organization, but that's where the content section of your profile comes in. If I'm looking over, let's say, a developer's profile, I will see what kind of content they are posting, reposting, or commenting on. Even your comments are public on LinkedIn, right? Every last comment of your like whatever you have commented on, I can see that, right? So I will, like, after going through your about section, if there is one, and after going through your experience, I will see what kind of content is there. And that's where personal branding comes in. What kind of content you're putting out there to see, to engage with people and let people know what kind of work you're into, right? I have seen most of Pakistani people, what they do is they're sharing memes, they're sharing Islamic quotes, they're sharing. I'm not like being very judgmental. I'm just saying that this is not the place that you should put this kind of content in, right? And people are sharing very personal experiences. Yes, sometimes you have to uh, do your storytelling as well, connect with the people, but it should not be very offensive. It should be kept professional. Um, and yes, add content about what you do, what have you learned so far, maybe answer a few questions that other personnel might have, what kind of coding does this solve, what kind of coding would help you achieve this, whatever is your field of work, or maybe what's the new trends in your domain, how do you connect with other people, anything, just post something, and it should be professional. Again, once people understand in their mind that LinkedIn is a professional place and not LinkedIn and not Instagram, not something, I would say, Twitter. Because Twitter is a place, yes, you can share whatever opinions you have, right? Be very open. That is a place for that. LinkedIn is not that kind of place. Yes, it should be kept professional. If you want to have any opinions, it should be in the domain of being professional. So, yeah.
Perfect. So पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग भी हो गई, हमने लिंक्डइन भी सीख लिया। नाउ इट
Hmm.
कम्स टू द पार्ट ऑफ एंगेजमेंट।
Hmm.
Usually, what I personally believe is that telling about your work and telling about your overall personality is also important. Because if you have everything on LinkedIn, but you need to grow in any certain way ताकि आपको पता हो कि यार कहाँ पे कौन सी ओपनिंग्स हैं, कहाँ पे कौन से क्लाइंट्स हैं. Then comes to the part of engagement, and people
Hmm.
usually don't. What I came across that people usually say कि यार हम क्या पोस्ट करें, हम like developers are like what can we post, like engineer like चलो क्रिएटिव प्रोफेशनल का समझ में आता है, वो अपने बारे में चीजें डालते हैं, बट what are the things do you think कि engagement में होनी चाहिए, like do anyone has to be very precise about their work, or do they do be like कि चलो यार related to your work and related to your learning आप उसके हिसाब से चीजें डालते
Hmm.
रहें, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि your overall personality should reflect who you
Hmm.
are, what you are
Yeah.
doing, and what's your future plan should look like learning and development में. So,
Yeah.
अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं कि यार engagement के लिए क्या strategy रखनी चाहिए, क्योंकि to be very
Hmm.
honest, LinkedIn is like a different strategy for different one. मैं हो सकता है मेरी
Yeah.
strategy बहुत अलग हो, आपकी बहुत अलग हो. But
Hmm.
what do you think यार engagement की importance क्या है, क्योंकि उससे ये होता है कि sometimes you getting things on your feed that are from your first or second connections, and
Hmm.
people usually don't understand that कि यार first or second connections की importance है क्या, क्योंकि for example if
Hmm.
I want to reach out to Hajra but I don't have Hajra's in my connection, but if I have Hajra's first or second connection, whatever I'm posting she might be seeing on her feed as well. So what's your thought on engagement?
So basically, the most important thing for me for engagement is comments, commenting on others' uh, posts, because most of the time you don't really. I won't say that everyone should start posting on LinkedIn, because most of the time you don't firstly have time for that out of your job, and secondly you don't really have content strategies for whatever you're going to post, right? You need to have proper thought process into it. You need to, there's no one, I would say, right way of posting. So if you are just new starting, you should start with commenting and add your feedback, your thought process, your ideas, your opinions. Yes, be very professional. Be very, I would say, don't offend someone, but yeah, you should engage. That's what I do. I see, but I think that's what my kind of a job is too. I connect with everyone. If it's a designer, if it's a developer, if it's a marketer, if it's a whatever salesperson, I try to see how they're doing their job, how what kind of content they're posting, um, and how do I bring my perspective to their, I would say, post or idea or whatever they've shared, right? So it's totally fine, and do not just, the most important thing, do not use AI generated content. People have started taking AI so much, like
Thank
they
you so much
stopped. I
for
think that's,
mentioning this.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
People have stopped using their brain. You have had the chance, or I would say privilege, of going to schools, to colleges, to universities. Your parents have paid a lot of amount for you to go study. It was not for ChatGPT or Gemini. It's free of cost, right? Just start using your brain. I promise it will help you. I promise it will get out some ideas if you start using it. If you start thinking that, just before I did my research of like my final year project was based on how digital marketing is transforming into AI. Even though my, I would say, domain, I went to HR, but I was very much into marketing. And that time, the whole paper I wrote, the whole research I did was natural. I did get responses, got interviews, I wrote by myself. And if I tell this, like, it was just 2.5, 3 years ago, right? And if I tell this to people now, they're like, oh, we cannot write a whole thesis project. We just give it to AI and they give it to us. And okay, I know that I'm not going to say that you should not use AI. Yes, you should use it, but get ideas and try using your brain as well. Try using your ideas. What do you think about it? How would you write something? How would you get think about something? AI has just, I think what it's doing to our new generation is keeping us in a box. Same thought process, same ideas, same uh, content. It's just very robotic for me. I personally don't like that. Obviously, it's my opinion, but I think people should go out, get out of AI box and just try using, thought process.
परफेक्ट। I'm pretty much sure हमने काफी सारी चीजें कवर करी हैं, बट इसमें एक छोटा सा टॉपिक है जो मुझे और ऐड करना है, जिसके बारे में मुझे और थोड़ा सा जानना है आपकी तरफ से। दैट इज रिस्क
Yeah.
मैनेजमेंट। People usually don't understand the power of risk management. It's like there are a lot of people who are not switching their job just because they are लाइक वो कन्वीनियंट हो चुकी होते हैं उससे,
Hmm.
कंफर्टेबल हो जाते हैं उस जगह से, एंड देन दे स्टॉप ग्रोइंग। दैट
Yeah.
इज दैट व्हाट आई पर्सनली बिलीव। क्योंकि व्हाट आई एम पर्सनली सीइंग दैट कि जेनजीज और मिलेनियल्स के अंदर ये सबसे बड़ा चेंज है कि जेनजीज आर मोर टूवर्ड्स कि ठीक है यार, विल ट्राई टू एक्सप्लोर डिफरेंट थिंग्स, विल ट्राई टू डू दैट थिंग, बट
Yeah.
व्हाट्स द राइट वैल्यू, लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल व्हाट्स द राइट अमाउंट टू, लाइक कितने साल बाद आपको एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से स्विच करना चाहिए? Number one,
Hmm.
what are the pointers that you need to see every time you switch or you are taking risk? Because what I personally believe, you can take
Hmm.
risk, but it should be like a calculated risk rather than um, रैंडम
Hmm.
थिंग, क्या ठीक है हमारे पास ओपनिंग आई और हमने एक्सेप्ट कर ली। और लोग कभी कभार सिर्फ पैसों को देखते हैं, बाकी सारी चीजें नहीं देखते, बिकॉज दे आर ऑल्सो
Hmm.
अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इंक्लूड इज लाइक हेल्थ मैनेजमेंट, लाइक टाइम मैनेजमेंट, लोग जो हैं वो क्या आपको प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं, व्हाट आर द अदर पर्क्स एंड बेनिफिट्स
Hmm.
दे आर प्रोवाइडिंग टू यू। सो व्हाट जस्ट आउट ऑफ क्यूरियोसिटी आई वांटेड टू नो, व्हाट इज रिस्क मैनेजमेंट फॉर यू? किस तरीके से करना चाहिए? अपनी अपॉर्चुनिटीज को कैसे अवेल करना चाहिए और क्या क्या चीज़ों को इवेल्युएट करना चाहिए बिफोर यू कैन स्विच टू अ न्यू रोल और अ न्यू कंपनी?
Hmm. So, referring back to your first question, how many years you should stay in a company? I believe there are always not just one reason when you are switching. There are multiple reasons. Maybe personal, maybe professional. Maybe you are not growing anymore. Maybe your team is not working out with you. Maybe you have a manager problem. Maybe your office is too far away. Anything, right? Once you have a problem, then you need a solution, and for that you need to switch your job. For me, what I do is once I do, yes, I have a problem, then I need to fix it. And if even if it's like a year or less, then I have to switch, right? So that's what I would say employees or people should see if they have a problem. If they think that yes, I can manage this, yes, I do have this issue, but this is solvable, then obviously you should stay. There are two kinds of growth. One in monetary, which people obviously put first over anything else, over culture, over work, experience, skills, team, anything, right? Yes, they should. Everyone has their own personal opinions, what they want. The second kind of growth is in your role, in your, I would say, skill set, in your what you're doing, right? So if you see that it's been right, yeah, it's been 2 years I've been in the same role, right? But the growth has been exponential. You have been growing rapidly. You have learned so much, and in the next year, because you evolve when the company is evolving, right? So if the company is evolving, you know your role is evolving. But yeah, you see that there is another opportunity for me out there, which is very good, which might be easier for me as well, but it does not have much growth. Then there is an issue. Then you need to see which kind of thing you're, okay to let go, and which kind of thing is important for you. So I won't say that taking you should not take risks. You should. When we do what we do is that we make a bubble, and we just stay in there. We do not grow. We do not change our roles, companies. We do not try to even in your current job, if you are facing any problems, if you are being uncomfortable, even about your role, even about what you're doing, you should talk it out. Talk with your team members, talk with your managers. If they're not being able to have a solution, talk with the upper management. If they're not being able to have a solution, then you know your answer, right? So yes, take risks. Calculated risk is that when you know what you want. If you do not know what you want, then any risk you take is not worth it.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Hajra. It was a really nice session. I'm pretty much sure a lot of people हैव अ क्लियर पिक्चर टूवर्ड्स के अब लोगों को ऐसा नहीं लगेगा कि यार एचआर का क्या पर्सपेक्टिव होता है, क्योंकि ये बहुत
Yeah.
जरूरी था जानना। थैंक यू सो मच फॉर दैट। I really appreciate it, and hopefully, a lot of people also learn from these things and will
Yes.
make an impact out of it. Thank you so much, Hajra. Thank
Yeah.
you so much for your time.
Okay.